Hi, this is Jasper from Spirit Path doing another pick a card reading for all of you subscribers. Take your time and pick a pile. The three options are passion, kindness, spontaneity. This is an owl, a glass orb, and a mother figure. If you like your reading, like and subscribe. Help support the channel. Hi folks. So if you picked pile number 1, you resonated with the word passion. It can mean a lot of things, so I'll shuffle the deck and see what cards pop out, what Spirit is trying to tell you, or what you might be able to meditate on. Initial thoughts while holding this talisman is it's a very feminine figure, protective and connected with Earth. This figure also has their third chakra open and their heart chakra. So there's a lot of good feels from this. Let's see what the cards say. Alright, pile number 1. So there's a couple things that your reading could be about. I get the sense that you have feminine energy, or that the person that you're thinking of, that you're trying to understand, has that energy. And there's a masculine aspect of this also, that is either a person you are waiting for, or an aspect of yourself that you are or could be repressing. And the reason I say this is these two cards, and of course the figure that we have representing this reading, are all feminine appearing, and these cards are more neutral to masculine. And what these cards seem to be saying is whatever it is that you have passion for, it's going to come for you. It's going to happen. But there's something that either you have been waiting for quite some time, or that will come to you no matter what you do. It's not something that takes active energy. And it could be frustrating in those moments when you have something like this, because you want to encourage things along and make sure that what you desire happens. Sometimes it's just a matter of time. But here with this cornucopia card, and also represented by this hourglass within the angel balance card, you see that good things are happening. It takes time though. And all tied up card reversed also shows that, you know, this is something that made you feel held back. This made you feel trapped, potentially. And when I say you, that can mean you or the person you're doing this reading for, or to just general whoever this is that you're thinking of. This could be their energy as well, if it's like a two-person reading. But those binds that are making you feel all tied up, they're about to end. This is also showing like you have the control here to wait this out. You have the power to do it. These cards show that passion that I'm talking about. Page of Wands has an idea. They're not sure how to execute that idea. And in their mind, they really want to run right towards whatever it is they're planning. They desire it heavily. All these cards are, at least in this row, are wands representing fire, energy, passion, and creativity. There's something brewing. It has been brewing. It needs to brew a little bit longer. Possibly. Even if you feel like it's been going on for too long. The Four of Pentacles is interesting. It usually represents a sense of having to hold on to something. Holding on to your wealth or holding on to your stability. Feeling like you can't let go, or that you're not in a stable position. I'm seeing also the city, I guess you call it a skyline in the back of this. Whereas there's lots of desert here. So, if this is about traveling or leaving a city to somewhere else, that's kind of showing in these symbols. The Magician can mean multiple things. It can mean someone. It could show manipulation. This is a person that has all the elements at their commands. They have, well, when I say elements, I mean the symbols commonly used, the four symbols in the minor arcana. So, cups, pentacles, swords, wands. This person has it all. And through that they have full powers represented by this infinity symbol. When it's upright, it means your power is balanced and at your command. You have all the resources to do something. Reverse it either means someone's being manipulative, someone's out of balance, a situation is out of balance, or that's how someone feels. I would say it's how someone feels because of the wands being in the center of this. And the cup is also standing out to me. Not seeing a lot of water energy here besides in the angel of balance. So maybe that is actually something that to get in balance, whoever this reading is for needs to take time and reflect on it. Again, with the pyramids in all of these cards, it's a big symbol here. Not sure what pyramids actually stand for, like, symbolically. Could put that in the comments for you all. I'm also seeing a lot of the colors orange and red. This card's interesting, and I'm not quite sure where this is coming from, but I have an idea. These cards are all really dry desert areas, and the huckleberry is a type of plant that grows in the northwest, I believe, along with other places in the U.S. And it's a wild plant that it can't be domesticated. It hasn't ever been domesticated, but people lived off of it. Indigenous people lived off of it for a long time, and it's something that is resilient. It comes back quickly when there's like environmental issues. An example being, from what I've read on this, let's see what mountain it is. I'm not from the Northwest, so I want to make sure I get it right. Okay. Huckleberry. The author of this deck is from the Pacific Northwest and of the U.S. and that's really familiar with this planet. So Mount St. Helens, that's the one I was thinking of. That volcano went off in 1980, and it was, huckleberry was one of the types of plants that survived the area that was damaged by it and came back. And while I was thinking about this, I was thinking about the California fires happening. I'm currently visiting my in-laws who are from California, and we're actually in North Carolina, but they're from California, and we have some relatives over there. And so some of that energy is kind of probably connected with the items I chose for this reading. What you can learn from the huckleberry is finding a way to turn adversity into opportunity. The huckleberry benefits from increased sun in areas where the forest canopy has been damaged by fire. So almost like what has ravished an area, that there is, where there is death, there is a chance of rebirth. It's kind of the words I'm getting from this card. The author of this says, a huckleberry reminds them that sometimes success comes from not being the brightest, shiniest, or boldest person, but from strategic patience, lying low, hiding under the snow until the right opportunity presents itself. So I would say that the lesson or thought to meditate on this is, although you have the passion, you have the wherewithal to bring something into creation, you must have balance with how that happens and patience. Balance usually is related to patience from my experience. This may be something that comes over time, and it's worth it. Hope this reading helped you. Now on to pile number 2. Alright, group number 2. If you chose the Spear, the glass spear. This reading is for you. Immediate thoughts when I picked this out was that it had a combination of both water and air vibes. Very whimsical and flowery. My mother-in-law helped pick several of the items that are on the table today, including the owl and the little totem and our glass spear. Just a way of honoring a family while visiting them. The word that popped out for this group is authenticity. There's actually 2 other word cards that popped up out of shuffling underneath this. So you kind of get some bonus cards here. Try not to show favoritism because this actually wasn't the pile that I would choose for myself. I'll put in the comments what pile I chose for my own reading. Alright, so let's go see what the other cards have to say. Okay, I hope you can see this pretty well. Group number 2. I had to change the lighting a little bit since too much light was reflecting off of my holographic cards. So I'll pan to the cards over on this side as I get to talking about them. But first I want to focus on this guy. I'm sure you've noticed that I put my cards out organically here to try and tell an organic story. There is one particular story that is coming through these cards. If it doesn't apply, if you feel it doesn't apply to you, please disregard, but what I'm seeing from here is that someone is feeling that they are not in the right community. They may have told lies or deceived, been like telling a story about who they are, and they can't live that lie anymore. The reason I'm seeing that is because of these cards over here. There's some kind of burden that this person is letting go of. They probably got very far with what they were doing to deceive others, and somehow the truth came out, as seen here with the 7 of Swords. And it could have to do with family. Those people that they deceived this truth might not have come out yet, but it's about to come out. I'm picking that up because these characters here, they're being led towards something in a boat. Usually this card could mean that someone is leaving or going on a new journey um, with whatever information that they've been told so far. Usually I see swords as communication. And whatever this lie or falseness is, it could be that it's been left behind, or it could be on the boat. If it is on the boat, that's not good, because no one should be lied to like that. To let go of this and tell the truth would be freeing from all this extra burden. Now, it might not necessarily be you. It might be just someone you know. It could be someone else's message. But there's just a heaviness to whatever was going on before. As you see in this card, this woman is taking off her mask. Another theme from this I'm seeing is chains, feeling trapped. So this is a very consuming issue. And to get your sense of community back, this is something to let go of. Fourth chakra, Raphael. Which means, if I'm thinking correctly, means speaking of your heart chakra, but I'm going to check real quick. See what he has to say. Yeah. It's about the heart chakra. Upright indicates that you now have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. It could indicate that much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. Another meaning to this combination of cards could be that you feel a lack of community because of attachment to something that happened in the past, kind of like PTSD. I've gotten this type of card. I've gotten these type of cards before for myself in past issues. Basically, like the feelings, the heaviness of what you previously experienced or were dealing with was holding you back, or is holding you back, and it's time to heal from that. Basically, this card's about healing whatever was transgressing in these issues. I don't know if you hear that music in the background, but that's someone upstairs playing music. So these cards tell what will happen, or indicate what will happen when whatever that heavy feeling is let go of. So this is what you're letting go of. Anxiety, feeling trapped, telling the truth, an idea or conversations had. An idea is brought up to someone, rather, or a conversation is had. It sets you free. And that helps in this cycle of just being stuck, trapped, like worrying over whatever this was. So if this is like a conversation that you or someone else is meaning to have or needs to have, this is showing that the way to let go, the way to move on from it, is to be authentic. Now, you did have 2 extra cards. I'm going to see what they say. So we have risk, kindness. So this can mean a couple things. It could mean you're afraid that telling this truth will not be received well. That the people won't be receptive or kind in return. That, or it could be that you feel telling the truth on this is a kindness to someone else. And of course it's a risk, to come out with whatever this truth is. I will pull some more cards here just to see more of what the conclusion is. It's certainly going to be the end of the matter, whatever it is. For group number 2, what will happen when they're authentic? What is the result? That was a lot of cards. Okay. I'm going to go with the topmost ones that are visible. It could go a couple of ways. There is progress in these cards. You got 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and 7 of Cups. So that's movement to a better situation. Better feelings, specifically. If not between you and someone else, then at least for you, having been authentic and told the truth. Obviously, this is causing you grief, or this person grief, and there's a sense of nostalgia for what used to be. How this goes really depends on how a situation is handled by you afterwards. So, like, this can't just be a one-off kindness. This has to be something that is you continuously, try to live authentically, or treat the situation authentically. If you do that, things will come into balance. This card, Four of Wands, usually it can represent marriage, it can represent harmony, um, stability. So this is a potential. That looks interesting on the camera because of the reflection. This is a potential future for you all. But so is this, which is Five of Wands, representing conflict and hostility. It just depends on how you all communicate. This is the Two of Cups. This is the Emperor. The Emperor comes reversed. It can represent being controlling, trying to have your way, being too assertive. When I see this card, I've had this before for myself as well. The advice I would give is just be calm, be centered, be in control of yourself in a positive way. Don't try to manipulate how others respond or control the relationship or connection, whatever is happening, because that's just to your detriment. That's what will lead to the hostilities, because people can see through that. And I'm doing this reading in phrasing of you and them, but this could be them towards you as well. Probably specify that in the comments too, just for anyone who's confused. So yeah, that's what this is projecting for y'all's conversation or communication. I hope you enjoyed. Let's move on to the next pile. Hi, group number 3. If you chose the Bronze Owl, then this is going to be your reading. Something funny to note about this is I had to re-record the intro to this a couple times because the owl fell down, the owl was out of focus, I sounded weird, etc. So I was in saying before all of that happened that this owl gave me a vibe of a very creative, intellectual type of vibe, but also kind of clumsy. So keep that in mind. The word that first popped up is spontaneity for this pile. So let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. Hi, group number 3. So I shuffled your cards. This is what's come out first. The energy of this pile is very uplifting, upbeat, I would say. You're on a journey. You're on a journey to feel either more enlightened or to feel more in touch with yourself. I say that because we had Door to Spirit at the very top of the reading and Journey to the side. So it's all about finding yourself and living your best life. It's the words that came up to my mind. You have 2 archangels that came out. First, Uh, First chakra, Archangel Michael. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Uh, these represent um, Archangel Michael represents the uh, the first chakra, obviously, but the chakra stability, um, how comfortable you are and like grounded. And fifth chakra, Gabriel, is about your throat chakra, being able to say your truth and be authentic with how you speak or express yourself. Interestingly, between them is healer of the ages. Ages. Bleh. I'm feeling giddy just in reading this pile. This is such a upbeat pile. Healer of the Ages. I keep doing that. Healer of the Ages is about healing, obviously. Something that was out of balance is about having uh, the power to heal. It's the words in my head. Uh, Interesting. It's between these two cards, which to me says by speaking your truth, expressing yourself um, truthfully, and uh, being comfortable, knowing that you're stable, it's staying grounded, being comfortable with the spot you are currently. Um, these are ways to uh, heal yourself, if not also help others. But this is a little out of balance at the moment, hence why it's reversed. Healer to Ages, the message that card has in its little handy dandy book is it can indicate that you or they have been feeling extremely out of sorts or even upside down in one's own life. You may be in the midst of some physical problem or just feeling as though you're losing energy, but this card is telling you that there are deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. So take some time to regroup and put your own healing first. So maybe part of this journey is just doing these things to heal. I get the words in my the words that pop to mind is live in the moment. I guess it's kind of related to the Spontaneity card that first came out. There's kind of like a romantic feel to this as well, from this exploration, uh, especially getting that because the Empress card and this card, Foxglove for connection, came out. Um, so together, that can mean you are a person or they are a person, for whoever this reading is for, um, who is very expressive and not like in a restrained, um, restrained and orderly way, like a high priestess card, but in just an organic way, like the Empress. But this is someone who can love freely, either love life or love others. through that, you find a connection with spirit, yourself, or to others. But I'm really feeling spirit from the vibe of this. It maybe in the past you were a person who's very indecisive, or you felt like you couldn't make a choice on something. But through practicing these this authentic lifestyle, expressive lifestyle, you're not getting stuck in indecision anymore. Let's see if any other cards come out for this. What is the result of this journey? Where is it going? Okay, so that's pretty clear, isn't it? This is the fern. See if that can focus a little bit. This card represents growth. This is violet for attract. I sometimes read these reversed. Depends on what the meaning of this particular card is. So whatever this is, it's growing something. Oh, wow. If you put them like right next to each other, it's pretty clear. Growth, attract, connection. So you're drawing others to you. The color that keeps popping up is purple as well. I don't know if I see purple in these as much. There's a lot of blue for healing, but in here is purple. Purple represents protection, and blue is usually emotional healing of some sort, as it is green. Anyway, so through this whole journey that you're going through to get in touch with yourself or with spirit, you of course are growing as a person, or they are, whoever this is for, and helping either grow a connection with spirit or grow a connection with others. It's very upbeat, so congratulations on being able to have this time in your life. Is there any other words for group number 3? Spirit have any other words for group number 3? Yeah. Oops. Oh my goodness. So see what I mean about spontaneity and so see what I mean about spontaneity and this pile, group number 3. So camera fell down, sorry about that. But the word that popped out was spirit, was gratitude. So this is just, there's a couple meanings to this. This can mean by being thankful for what you have, you help attract more of it. Like live in a optimistic point of view versus a pessimistic law of attraction. Can also mean just enjoy what's happening or is about to happen. Okay, group number 3. That was your reading. Wish you the best. If you liked reading, please like and subscribe. Thanks.